So because Thomas will be learning at another school soon, let's just talk a little bit about how that might work. So here's your A and your E. So, and they're single strings. So this is how you might be taught to tune the fifth. Just kind of bringing up the E until it sounds almost pure. Okay, so now the problem with that, there's two problems. One, how narrow is it supposed to be? Number two, is it actually narrow? Because if it's wide,
we lost David.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're still recording here, so. So he'll come, hopefully he'll come back in.
Yeah, perhaps, but I had a question as well. Why is David doing this fourth and fifth? Because it's not in our
yes, it is.
method. Is it?
Yes, I'm back.
Yes, it is. It's in the method. I just don't point it out to you. I have mentioned it once, but the way I'm showing you right now is not in the method. But the tuning of force is in the method, and I'll show you where. Do you remember me talking about the tuning of the fourth?
I don't know in what.
Maybe not. So I'm going to show you today. All right. So some methods talk about tuning the fifth the way I just did, like this, right? You play the fifth, you tune the note until it sounds almost pure. Now, the problem with that description is it's incredibly vague, number one. Number two, how narrow is it supposed to sound? And number three, is it even narrow? So I just tuned this fifth. And the first thing we'll have to ask is it even narrow? I mean, it sounds almost pure. It sounds like it's not pure, but is it even narrow? So to do that, we need check notes. Okay? So the check note for the fourths and the fifths is actually very easy to figure out if you have a good understanding and you know your chords. Do you know your chords? I know, David, you do. How about you, Thomas?
I think so. The first check note I would think about would be an octave lower than the lowest note.
No.
Huh?
So the check note for the fourth or the fifth, all you do is you look at your fourth or your fifth and you think, how can I make this into a minor chord? And then you put the minor third in the bass. Minor third in the bass. So A to E, what minor chord is that? It's either A minor or E minor.
A minor?
A minor. So what's the minor third of A minor?
C.
C. So you put the C in the bass. And there's your check note for the fifth. So you just play it. It's supposed to be flat from pure, and it probably is. And you listen at the coincident partial for the fifth, which is the octave above the top note.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's listen and see what size this is. Is it wide or narrow? It's supposed to be narrow. Can you hear it?
Second one is
I can almost
fast.
hear that.
What's that, David?
I can almost hear that coincidental partial. I'm really trying to train my ears for that. It takes a while.
Cup your hand.
Yeah.
What did you hear, Thomas?
I do hear the second one is faster.
The second one is faster.
So that's why.
It's a wide fifth. There. That's a narrow fifth. Now, I just tuned my temperament. If I pull out my mutes, it's not really pure, eh? Now it's pure. You can't tell a difference. You cannot tune notes accurately this way. You just can't. But you can get close, and it's the same with all temperament sequences. They should have a warning label on the front. Warning, this sequence only gets you close. You're going to have to refine when you're done. After you go through the whole thing, you'll have to go back and refine. Okay, so now with our system, we do tune the force. Watch. First, we tune our octave. We got our pure 4/2, pure 6/3. Then you set your F to be about 7 beats. Then you tune that octave. So that octave is a pure 4/2, pure 6/3. There's your 2 octaves. Then you set your C sharp skeleton. Now this is also, depending on the traditional method you're going to be learning, Thomas, there's just a very basic low-level method that doesn't bother with the skeleton. The skeleton is not new. It was taught by Bill Bremer. It's taught at North Bennett Street School as Jack Stack. And the goal is progressive major thirds, stacked major thirds, or contiguous major thirds. Those are the other names. That's the goal of the lower skeleton, to be in a straight line. And these are in a straight line. And they just happen to be progressive because I already tuned it. Upper skeleton, those have to be progressive. So the whole thing then becomes, progressive. Now for me, the intervals must be easy to hear. So the beats must be clean and clear and easy to hear. This isn't for me. And if it isn't, you got to go and check your unisons. There, that's better. Okay, now that we have the skeleton, the next step is to tune D4. In my method, I teach another old technique that few people use, but it could be part of the method that you'll be using, Thomas, depending on how far up the ladder the method is that they're teaching. And that's the 6th between the thirds. And that is, you got your thirds, F A, A C sharp, and the 6th that you put between them is the F D. That's how you tune the D. So you got your F A, slow, your F D, medium, and your A C sharp, fast. But look at this. We have a 4th. A3, D4. We got a fourth. We just tuned a fourth. So for that fourth, A3, D4, what's the check note? Minor third in the bass.
F.
Yeah.
F3. It's a D minor chord. So in order for that fourth to be wide, the A or the D has to beat faster than the A.
That's what we just did.
So we just did. Not only did we do it, not only did we make the fourth wide, but we made it the exact width for this piano.
Mm-hmm.
That's how wide it should be. And later on, we're going to talk about when we go up into the stretch, there's something else that is totally like light years beyond what anybody is teaching, what I've ever heard anybody teach. Light years.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
When I was listening to you play that fourth with the A3, D4, did that, I mean, you talk about noisy. We don't want it to sound too noisy, but for that piano, that was like you say, the right, that was the right interval where that D should have been placed.
Yeah.
So did it sound noisy with the fourth?
Sounded fine to me.
Oh, okay. So it might be relative.
Could be the internet too.
What's that?
It could be the internet.
Yeah, there is that.
But listen, look here. I want to show you this. This is how we tune the stretch. We make all of these intervals, these 4 intervals, we make them the same speed. Okay. And so when you take these intervals and make them the same
You're
speed,
sharing your screen, Mark. I don't know
I'm
if you're
not sharing my screen. I'm not sharing my screen. Is that what you're saying? I'm not sharing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Oh, I thought it was there. I thought I saw it say it was screen shared. Okay, there we go. You see it now?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Now I see it.
Yeah. So the intervals in the circles are the test intervals. And when they are all the same speed, the interval between them will be pure. So you've got the minor third, major 6, and between them is the 6/3, right?
Don't go too fast. No, I'm not really grasping what you say.
Okay, see the intervals in the circles?
Yes,
Those
minor
are
third.
those are the test intervals. When
Yes.
they are the same speed, you got a pure interval. Okay?
Okay.
The pure
Yeah.
interval is the one that's between the test intervals. So for the minor third, major 6, you got a pure 6/3, right?
Right.
So if you look down here at the notes down here, you can see the minor third here is B flat, C, D flat. That's your minor third. Your major 6 is D flat, B flat. So for this group of intervals, when the minor third is the same speed as the major 6, that means the B flat octave is a pure 6/3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes, that's the test that we do. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, the minor third. So we use all of these intervals to tune the top note here, the F, F6. Starting at F6, we use all of these intervals, but you can use some of the intervals some of the time. You don't have to use them all, but starting at F6, we can use them all. And what does that allow us to do if we make all of these the same speed? Well, if you've got a minor third the same speed as the major 6, for example here, and the other thing you need to know is that for all of these intervals that I just showed you here, all of these, minor third, minor 6, major 17, the coincident partial is F6. So that's where you're listening all the time. Okay, that sounds like it's a pure 6/3. All right, so now if I tune that F6, if I tune this, you see the red note there, the C sharp?
Mm-hmm.
If I tune that major 17th as the same speed as the minor third, I'm going to have a pure B flat F, 2 octaves, and a fifth. Okay? Right? That's the test for it's called the 19th. There it is right here. Minor third, major 17th gives you a pure 19th. Can you hear these beat speeds?
Yeah.
Are they the same speed?
Try them again. Top one sounds maybe a little slower.
Yes. Okay, so let's raise it. What about now?
Try them again.
Same for me.
Yeah,
What?
it's about the same.
It's a little slower still, on the top.
Yeah.
Listen again and see if you can confirm that the top is still a bit slower.
Tiny bit.
Tiny.
Tiny bit, yeah. If you say so.
There we go. So that means now we have a pure 19th, which means for this note here, the 6th partial is the same frequency as F6. So there's no beating. Okay? That's a pure 19th. Okay?
Can you play it again?
What do you want me to play? The test or the 19th?
The 19th, yeah.
Like
there should
really,
be no beating.
you can't even tell if I'm playing a 19th or not. It could be the octave or the unison. Like that's me pressing down the key. I'm pressing down the F6 and now I'll play the B flat. You can't tell. It sounds like a single string. And if I play all 3 of them at the same time, you can hear the beating. You hear a clean beating at F6. If they were not the same speed, you wouldn't hear the beating. It would be all mumbled. Okay? That's the pure 19th. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit puzzled because with the octaves, we cannot tune them pure, but this is like a major fifth with an octave extra.
Yeah.
And this one is pure.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. But you understand that we've got a pure interval here?
I hear it, but I'm a bit puzzled because in the equal temp in the equal tempered scaling, I would suspect some beating everywhere.
My first experience with this was the pure 12th, which I'm going to show you in a second. And yes,
because if you would play the lower note 1 octave higher, then we would have a beating. If you would take the C, the B flat, which is a Chekhov for the major sixth, and the F6, so the B flat 4.
Yeah, no, there's no beating there either. So what I'm forgetting here is how incredibly blown away I was the first time I learned that we could have pure intervals in the piano. Because I had been taught all about the fourths and fifths being not pure, and that the piano, you know, equal temperament was like an abomination and it just like destroyed the piano. And then when I found the first interval I found that could be pure was the 12th. We'll talk about in a second. And it was like a redemption. It was like a redemption story for the piano. Like now all of a sudden the piano can enter back into the world of a musical instrument with all these
of exactness.
Yes, exactly.
So if I would play the B flat 5, then we have beating. If I play...
let me just finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
Oh, 5. Yeah. The upper octave, the upper fifth. Yeah, there's going to be beats.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That one beats, but if you go down 1 octave, then it's pure. 1 octave more, it's still pure.
Yes. So check this out. I just showed you that the minor third and the major 17th are the same speed, and it's a pure 19th, right?
Yeah.
But the major 6 is also the same speed as the minor third, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That means the major 6th is the same speed as the major 17th.
Yes.
So that means these are the same. The major 6, major 17th. It's a pure 12th. And anything you hear there that's not pure, any motion you hear is coming from a unison. Right there. There. So you play them together, you hear the beating. So there's your pure 19th and your pure 12th. So when you play the B flat 3, the 6th partial is right up here. When you play the B flat 4, the 3rd partial is right here. When you play the F6, the 1st partial is right here, and they're all the same frequency. Play all 3 of them. It's like locked in. So the final thing I want to show you is this. The minor third and the minor 6. The minor third beating at F6, minor 6. These are the same speed. What does that mean? Minor third, minor 6, pure 4th at the 2nd coincident partial. So even though the 4th, now I'm playing the C sharp below it. I'm playing the C sharp right here to test the 4th. It's a little faster, maybe even slower. Yeah, so there's something weird going on with the piano. Like sometimes it doesn't behave the way we think it should. For example, this fourth, because this test is telling me it's pure, but on all piano, like it shouldn't be pure, but it is. On all pianos, when we do this kind of stretch, we get the pure fourth at the second coincident partial. That might sound faster. That bottom one I think is faster. Yes, it's faster. So that means that the minor 6 and the major 6 are not the same speed, which means the 11th, which is the octave in the fourth, is not pure. Yes, and I'm hearing a beating F6. So when we have that situation, we tweak. So because the minor 6 is faster, I want to lower the F3. I want to lower the F3. Can I? Let me check the octave. Yes, I can lower the F3. And why do I want to? Did you follow me? Why do I want to lower the F3 here?
Yeah,
He's beating speed now. That's my pure 11th. No beating at the F6, but also the pure fourth, second that I just discovered that I didn't understand. Checking the fourth, it's a wide fourth. It's back to being a wide fourth, which I don't care about. I don't need to have a wide fourth there. The only reason why I got the wide fourth back is because I wanted the pure 11th. And also getting me the pure fourth at the second coincident partial. Now, why is that so important? Because when you play the minor third and the minor 6 together, what chord do you get?
The minor chord starting at B flat.
B flat minor. And what will the beating sound like? Because the minor third and the minor 6 are the same speed.
It should be the same beating. Clear.
Yes. Clear. I mean, it's such an incredible sound. Clean, just cutting right through. If you don't have these intervals the same speed, you won't have that sound. It'll be lost. The beating up there will be lost. So this method not only tells you about the fourth, it not only helps you tune the fourth to be the right width, like FA, FD, slow, medium, fast. Not only does it give you that, it also gives you the pure fourth at the second coincident partial. So if we go to the top F, we get the same speeds for those. And now these unisons have to be crystal clear, or we're going to lose all that.
Marco, I'm not following. You're playing a D?
Yeah. So,
and then is it D? Okay, yeah, it's D4.
Yeah. F4, D4. Yeah. That's your minor third.
Okay. Yeah.
F4, A3, your minor 6.
Yeah.
They should be the same speed. And beating at A6. Pretty high.
It's not coming through in the computer.
That's why. There's beating there. There. See how this system just really, there's no room for unisons that aren't crystal clear. That fourth is beating. Let's do a little bit of filtering here. So this will be the minor third and the minor six, and then the fourth, and then the three notes together, D minor chord. So the third, it's the minor third at A6. There it is. Not clean, eh? Not completely clean. And then the minor six, at the same coincident.
Hmm.
There it is again. There's that one. And then I played the, and then the fourth. Yeah, so if we go to the fourth, we can filter it around the first coincident partial, which would be A5. It should be beating. Yeah, so you got a little beating there on the A5. But the A6 should be pure, but we'll see. So that means that the minor third and the minor six are not the same speed. Let's just check that out again. I want to go back. Hit that, make it louder so I can hear it. There. Now let's filter it. Yeah, still going to give me the same thing. So that means these are not the same speed. That one and yeah, that one sounds faster.
Mm-hmm.
The minor third. So that means that up there, it's not clean. And when you play the chord, you're not going to get that sound. But, you know, even though this isn't showing what I wanted it to show, we're trying to hit a very small target. So the result will be, it's still going to be, you know, if you're guessing at this stuff, it's going to be, you know, very difficult to make it happen. But you're trying, you might, you know, you might get it. So that what you're seeing there is this. It's cleaner though. It sounds cleaner. So this will be the now, just for fun, because it is quite hard to do, especially on those higher ones. But what about that lower one? So that's all on the F6. I don't know if that's going to work. Well, let's see. That one didn't come out. The other ones did. That one. And this one. And this is the fourth thing. We might as well do both. Oh, no wonder it didn't come out. There was no beating because it was pure. Yeah, that's why there's no beating on that. Pure. But if we go to the first coincident partial, yeah, there's your beating of the first coincident partial. And then here, that's two beats. That's the beating of the minor third and the minor sixth. Totally locked in. Totally locked in. So this one came out very good. And there's your beating of the fourth at the F6. No beating at all. But it is beating at the first coincident partial. And it's beating, what's the speed? Drag through 1 second, you get about 1 beat per second, which is actually mathematically the correct beat. Well, that fourth I think is 0.8. Mathematically, it's supposed to be 0.8, and this is 1. So very close. And then here's your beating of the minor third and the minor sixth. That one, and it's the same speed. So that one worked out perfectly. The other interesting thing is you got the minor third, right? There's the minor third. And the major sixth, same speed. Oh, no, the minor 6 is the major 6 a little slower. Raise it. There. So those are the same speed. So you could play the chord and the top B flat. And it's all beating the same speed. Get rid of the check note, and there's no beating. And that's why this system produces concert. It produces concert level tunings fast because nobody's trying to do this. Nobody else is trying to tune this way. Specifically, they're not trying to specifically tune this way, but what they're trying to get this sound. And after 20 years, they get pretty good at it. And they're doing things like second guessing. They're second guessing themselves. Like, I'll make the octave a little bit wider. You know, maybe I'll make the octave a bit wider. And okay, and after 10 years, okay, I think I know how much wider it should be. It's just a guesswork. No piano technician has been able to explain anything like this to me in any kind of specific way. All very, one student of mine who was he was an engineer. He told me, because he had been trying to find something like this, he said it's all black magic, Mark. It's black magic. They don't know what they're doing, which doesn't mean that they're not doing good work. It's just that they can't explain it. And a lot of times in the arts, some of the most incredible performers just can't explain how they do what they do. They've just been doing it so long, and they're gifted with this ability that they can produce awesome tunings, but they're just not being able to explain it well. I don't know how I do it. Like the time I was playing trumpet in a jam session, and I asked the bass player, what key are we in? Right? You know what he told me? He said, B flat. He had to think about it. He was playing in it, but he didn't know what key it was. Fine. Yeah, so that's the difference. Does that make? Do you have any questions about this?
Perhaps just the stretch. It's indeed really interesting. But if we would tune the stretch, do we check all the time all these notes? Probably not.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's say I'm tuning my F.
Yeah. Okay.
I come up to F6. This is what I do. I play the red and the yellow, major third. Then I play the major 10th, and that's going to give me a pure 4/2. Let me get it clean. I think I'm in the wrong. Oh, there we go. Okay, that sounds like a pure 4/2.
Okay.
And then I play the major 6, and it should be a little faster. So the yellow notes are slower and the blue notes are faster. So that gives us the pure 4/2. The faster 6th gives me a wide 4th between the F and the B flat. Okay, so now I go off of the major 6. I make sure that the minor third's the same speed. Make sure that the minor 6 is the same speed. I haven't even touched the F6 yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just done like this. Okay, that sounds like it's too fast. Okay, so So now that I have all that, I can tune the F6. I can tune it from any of those intervals. I can go from the 6th if I want. Oh, it sounds like it's a little flat. I can go from the minor 3rd and the minor 6th. Go from the, yeah. So I can use any of those blue notes to tune the top note. So first we get the bottom notes to fit, then we can tune the top note. And then the interesting thing is that the way that traditional technicians tune the stretch is with the octave. If you'll notice here, I never tune it. I never tune that octave directly. But I tune this note from the C sharp, and then I tune this note from the C sharp to fit with all the others. So this is in the slow camp, the F5. The F6 is in the fast camp. So with the C sharp, that gives us a major 10th, major 17th, which is the test for the 2-1, which should be wide, and it is. But it wasn't tuned directly. It was just a byproduct that it's going to end up being a little bit wide. But it's also a clue. If this octave doesn't sound clean, there's something wrong. So it comes out clean. It comes out ringing like a bell. But I never even tuned it directly. But it's a clue. If it doesn't sound like a bell, then I can go back and re-listen, this time telling my ear to hear something wrong, which is the best way for your ears to work.
But you did a 2-4 check for this octave with the C.
I did what?
No, you're right. I'm confused.
So what I was saying was, if that octave doesn't sound right, then I'm going to go back to those intervals and tell my ear to hear something wrong, which falls in line with with the article I wrote called "My Stupid Ears." Did I give you that article to read?
Yeah, perhaps one day. It might be in the chat.
Recently. I gave it recently because I just wrote it. My Stupid Ears. Basically, it says that your ear will hear whatever your brain tells it to hear.
Yeah, it's in the chat. Bad Ears, version 3.
Yeah. Did you read it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's interesting. Read it. It talks about, Green Needle and Brainstorm. There's a YouTube video where they put up these signs and they play this recording. Whatever you're looking at, that's what you hear. Green Needle, you look at Brainstorm.
Oh yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Brainstorm, yeah. So the best thing to make your ears, supercharge your ears to be like, give it superpowers, ask it to hear things that are wrong, not things that are right. Because if you ask it to hear things that are right, it'll say, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And it's like, no, it's not. Why are you saying yes? You wanted me to. But if you say, look, I want to find things that are wrong. Is this wrong? If it's close to being wrong, your ears will say, yeah, that's wrong. Okay, good. Let me fix it. But when it gets really close, your ears will be like, sorry, I can't tell. Oh, wait, yes, it is wrong. Oh, no, now I can't tell. It keeps changing. Your ear will keep changing what it's hearing. And when that happens, move on, because things are you're in La La Land. You're not in Kansas anymore, when it gets really close like that. So that's why, if that's not clean, I'll go back. Okay, what's wrong? What's wrong here? might say that that's too slow. But I'm not going to right now because that's
Okay.
clean enough. It's clean
Yeah.
enough for me. But my
Okay.
brain is like going wacko. It's going all crazy when I'm trying to hear things that are wrong when there's nothing wrong there, really.
Okay.
My brain is like coming out and saying, yes, there is something wrong there. It's like, go back to bed, leave me alone.
Okay. We lost David somewhere.
Oh, he'll watch the video.
Okay.
Ask me questions.
So on Thursday, normally we should find each other again on the normal hour.
Same time, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you next on Thursday, this Thursday.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. See
Have
you
a
on
good day.
Thursday.
2 days. Bye.
Nice day.